When you see the chain, know the name. I'm Gianni Football, and I'm proud to bring you yet another Gianni Gameday double header. In Game 1, it features one of the most historic programs in all of football history, the Crimson of Harvard, versus the local league powerhouses, University of San Diego. With this year being the 150th year of college football, I'm honored to bring you one of the storied teams in the sport's history. But don't count out the Toreros. With the help of legendary former head coach Jim Harbaugh, USD is cementing their own legacy. Can USD finally beat Harvard, or will the Crimson carry home a victory back to Cambridge? Let's talk some college football on this week's episode of Gianni Gameday. Gianni Gameday. On this week's segment of Know Your History, I want to feature an article on GoCrimson.com by writer John Powers. It features the 100th anniversary of the 1920 Rose Bowl. To check out the full article, go to GoCrimson.com. The 1920 Rose Bowl pitted the Crimson of Harvard versus the Oregon Webfoots. In fact, the game at the time was actually called the Tournament East-West Football Game. It took Harvard 6 days to travel from Cambridge to Pasadena by train. Aside from some impromptu scrimmages on train platforms, they hardly had a chance to practice. Harvard only enjoyed a few bowl festivities. The players did make a visit to a movie studio where they met and enlisted actor Douglas Fairbanks to be their sideline accompaniment. Actor Charlie Chaplin also joined the Crimson on the sidelines. The game, however, was anything but glamorous, with the Webfoots running the ball 90 times, abusing the Harvard defense. The Harvard players had broken noses, bruises, and one player dislocated and broke his arm. Although the Crimson got the last laugh when a non-letter-earning substitute fullback faked a dropkick and dashed into the end zone for the game's only touchdown. Harvard blocked 2 second-half field goals and clung to their halftime lead, winning the game 7-6. That Rose Bowl game, nearly 100 years ago, was Harvard's first and last bowl victory. And now it's time for the breakdown. Let's start with Harvard. I'm really excited to see junior running back Aaron Samplin. He's from Long Beach Poly High School. I went to college in Long Beach, so I'm excited to see him. He's been dominating the Ivy League. Last year, he had over 1,000 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. So expect Harvard to feed on the ball a lot in this game. Harvard misses some leadership at quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive back. But they have some upperclassmen this year who are looking to fill those voids, such as wide receiver Jack Cook, quarterback Jake Smith, and defensive back Max Jones. All three are stat leaders in their respective positions out of all the Harvard returners, so it'll be interesting to see them step into these new leadership roles. The Toreros of USD have big play potential with 2-time PFL Special Teams Player of the Week, Michael Armstead. He has 335 kick return yards, and he had a 93-yard kick return touchdown against Cal Davis 2 weeks ago. The USD offensive line is suffering a little bit because they're only returning one starter from last year's group, and they're also breaking in a brand new quarterback, Reed Sinnett. But he's been efficient of late because he's been hitting Walter Payton Award candidate Michael Bandy, wide receiver, and also tight end Dalton Kincaid. Running back Emilio Martinez has also been a playmaker by providing offensive balance when he's on the field. He had his first 100-yard rushing game since last October against Cal Davis. And now it's time for my predictions. As much as I want to go with the home team, I've got to go with Harvard on this one. Anytime I see a USD game, it's always high scoring, and I think this one's going to be no different. Harvard is going to take the win back to Cambridge 41-21. Thank you for joining me for my analysis between USD and Harvard for Game 1 of my doubleheader this weekend. Be on the lookout for Game 2's analysis between San Diego State and Utah State later on this week.